This is season 3, episode 7, The Bite. Are you ready to get bitten?
No.
And Robert, that video being better than half the Terminator movies is not a high bar of quality. I'm sad to be the one to say.
No, it's not.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, play.
No, I just thought of it because whenever I hear the if we say the chorus, we are dead, we're all dead, I think of that video before I think of the actual movie.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it, watch the How Terminator Should Have Ended video. Would have been a great crossover.
Okay. Chat was active while we were gone.
Oh. Yeah.
Billy's abuse of Max was because of his dad, and then he just sprinkled some racism on himself just for flavor. Is the creator of something mattering in your enjoying the project, or it depends question? It does not matter for me. I am a firm believer in the separating the art from the artist.
I am too. There are exceptions. Okay. It doesn't kill my enjoyment, it can kill my enthusiasm. Rick and Morty is a perfect example where I am less enthusiastic to keep going and be as invested as I was before. That doesn't mean I still can't enjoy, episodes that I really liked. It's the combination of, this show's kind of dropping off. It's not as good as it used to be. I'm losing interest. I'm getting more interested in other things. And then the controversies are like the straw that breaks the camel's back, where I'm like, all right,
Yeah, but you were already out.
For a bit.
If you still liked it, I can't speak for you, but I have to assume that wouldn't have been as big of a deal.
Right.
I will be right back. I think a bug just died in my drink.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
That's a stranger thing.
That is.
You never know what'll happen. That's why you gotta watch these live. Or wacky shenanigans. I guess this is supposed to be the ending of Karen's arc. She's being a good mom with her family. And also more assertive, I guess. I don't know, it's really weird that the thing with Billy goes absolutely nowhere. Yeah, I agree with Teddy. The amount of involvement they have, and of course, Jareth mentioned Jeepers Creepers. He can still enjoy that movie fine, and which is a movie I haven't seen. But I can understand that hurting somebody's enjoyment. For me, again, I could separate the art from the artist, but it can't hurt my enthusiasm or interest. Like I haven't seen Jeepers Creepers. It's not high on my watch list. Is that a factor? Probably. It's just not like an urgent thing I'm dying to finally check out, if that makes any sense. But we've also reviewed movies like The Burning on this channel, a slasher movie I really enjoy, which was written by the Weinsteins. It's one of their first movies, and we talk about it in the video. It's one of those things you have to address, and makes parts of that movie kind of uncomfortable when you have that background. Like, ooh, like this hasn't aged particularly well, but I can still enjoy most of that movie fine. Again, it doesn't kill the whole movie for me, but it is worth addressing. It should be talked about.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered Roman Polanski movies on the channel before.
Mm-hmm. And Rosemary's Baby is a perfect example. That's a movie I haven't seen yet, but I plan on watching it. I will get to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can separate that.
I mean,
it's a movie I still want to watch.
My favorite show of all time is Buffy / Angel, and we all know about Joss Whedon.
Yeah, And I still like some weed and things. I do want to keep watching Buffy. I've just been busy.
It's been 84 years.
Hmm. And the thing with movies, it's always important to remember that regardless of, who's the director or the writer, it still takes hundreds upon hundreds of people to make these things. You've got a whole lot of people to thank and give credit for why these things work and come together. One person turning out to be a shitty person, in my opinion, shouldn't necessarily ruin the whole product. It should ruin their career and their reputation, but it takes a whole lot of people to put these things together. But I like this sequence a lot. It, it helped. It's just so many characters in just one room, and it's really tense. And
Mhm.
again, it's a consequence for 11 going too far. Like, whoops! Now Billy knows where they are, and kind of fucked up their hiding spot. And we never talk about it after. Yay, it's kind of a consequence for 11 pushing herself too much, but hey, it'd be nice if it was addressed after the sequence.
Consequences being addressed? What?
Yeah, exactly, Teddy. It's different with the book, and granted, I'm not a heavy reader. I haven't read many books, but you are primarily talking about one artist and one vision. And if they turn out to be a horrible monster, it's like, yeah, that I understand more kind of tainting your enjoyment of it thing, because a book is such a pure, singular artistic expression.
Mm,
But
okay.
also, on the flip side, one thing I am pretty good about is I also don't idolize these people. I don't care. I don't follow their personal lives.
That's
Some
my
maybe
thing,
more
is
than
just
others,
like,
but I just don't
can
get
we
invested.
normalize? They're just people like us. They just
Yeah,
make art.
uh,
I
yep,
don't care
they're
what my
flawed.
neighbor does, let alone, I don't know, Joe Curie.
But like when a celebrity couple gets divorced and people like try to pick sides, I'm like, I don't care. It's none of my business. I don't know them. I always hope for things to work out and people to be happy and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's none of my business. Steve, this is your brain on drugs. And this is the comedic antics I'm torn on because it's like they're acting goofy, but I've never seen anyone high like this.
Off truth serum. We all know what Stephen King's favorite soda is. I'm a big King fan, but I'm not putting it together.
It's your department. No, that's cool. Maybe that's just something people picked up on in set photos, but Teddy just said that the character's main hideout's going to be the lab, so we are going to go back to the lab vibe.
No,
That's kind
no,
of neat.
no. He said the abandoned lap.
Oh, I thought he just misspelled lab.
He did. I was joking. God damn it, Robert. What have you done? Oh,
Oh,
how, how did I miss that?
dude, we're like 10 minutes away from the stupid new Coke scene. You should have saved that joke for that.
I think he's seen the show. He would have known that.
Teddy just corrected it. Like, yeah, we know. You know. Oh
They're
God.
going to the lap, Robert.
But yeah, this sequence I think is pretty cool. Like, oh my God, tentacle monster.
Robert, I just want you to know that it feels like 8 degrees outside.
No.
You Californian bastard. Hey, look, man. Stranger things may have happened.
And
Stranger things are in fact happening right now.
oh my God, she got bit, like the title said.
I don't understand how this leads to her losing her powers.
Uh, I guess just because she's partially infected.
Yeah, but it's like a permanent thing until season 4.
Yeah, I don't remember. I need to rewatch
This thing is
for.
horrifying. How does nobody else
It's
in the town notice this?
they're at the fair. They're busy.
You should be able to see that thing from anywhere in town.
But I do like that we give some of the characters some stuff to do, except for Will, because Will doesn't get
Why
to
would
do
you want
anything.
to do that?
And I do kind of like that it's the Mind Flayer we saw in season 2, but now in a fleshy, monstrous form. It's pretty cool.
It's very gooey.
I mean, what I like about having 11 loser powers is for these first 3 seasons, she is always the a character who can save the day and doesn't usually take a lot of damage. The unfortunate thing is we do the seeing her without her powers, and most of it's just spent with her getting her powers back. We don't get a lot of. We don't ever get to see how does she function with the group with her outer powers. Like that's the interesting stuff you could explore if you're gonna do that. Hey, look, it's Back to the Future. Ah, it's so gross. He took trash can popcorn. But in his defense, he probably hasn't eaten in like 12 hours. I do like a babysitter Dustin. Like this stuff's fun.
Yeah. I have this with what you have with Hopper stuff. The performances are good. It doesn't really, I think, hurt the characters because they have that excuse of the drugs. This is fun.
Hmm? But then this is the banter stuff where it's like, she's 10 and she's done research on conspiracy theories. And Isn't that funny?
Sure.
It's like they're trying to have someone, get to go toe to toe with Justin and or not Justin, Dustin, and just kind of forced.
Justin's Dustin's twin brother, Justin.
He'll be in season 5.
It wouldn't shock me.
This is that stage of the season where I think the bickering's going on a little too long, but then the Murray bit's pretty funny.
Murray agrees with you. This reminds me
Children.
of an old pop YouTube title, "How to Get Free Popcorn." It showed a Sooner POV of picking up a popcorn bucket out of the trash, walking, washing the bathroom, sitting, and then taking to get a refill. Ugh.
That's still gross. I want to do it. That wouldn't even work now. I mean, depending on the theater you're at. And now this is a trope I'm kind of 50-50 on. This one's not too bad, but when you have a character explain to a T when another character is going through, even though like Murray shouldn't know all this, but yeah, it's just for the sake of the joke.
He can read people.
He
It's
can.
consistent.
I
It is consistent
yeah,
with his season 2 speech.
yeah, that's true. That's fair. No, I think the worst example of it I've seen was in Freddy versus Jason with the nerdy kid who just for no reason tears down that girl. It explains exactly who she is, and then she's just into that, and it's like I hate that scene.
That's
It's trying to
whatever.
be look, this is quirky side character. It's like fuck you. This is not how teenagers talk. This doesn't work at all.
I'm fine with that. Like, it is that trope of like, oh, he's known her because they imply that he's known her for a long. Like, this is the first time he's shown any kind of backbone, so she's like kind of attracted by that just because he's finally standing up
Mm.
for himself. It's not great,
It's-
but it's Freddy versus Jason. Who cares?
I want real characters. Damn it! It scenes like this are frustrating. Where it's like this would be a good time for Max to apologize and say, "Oh, maybe I pushed her too far." Ugh.
Betty, it sucks that I find annoying Erica annoying because I 100% believe she's going to be main player in 5.
I,
Hopefully she's matured because that actress has got
hopefully
to be like late teens at
20,
this point, probably 20.
35. I don't
No, that's Finn Wolfhard.
know. Yeah. No, but there is a bit with her at this end of season 4 that I really like that I wish we got in this season. And like we said, they did make her more of a side character. So as long as they strike good balance.
Yeah.
And you know what? Lucas makes a good point. Why aren't the bowls where the cereal is? I fucking hate shopping at supermarkets. because he always puts shit in weird places and you can't find it. And then this is when Max, it's like she's still in control. She's still kind of like snobby. It's like, oh, why are we having her act like this? You want to kill that thing with fireworks? Yeah. What's your plan? It's. I don't know why we have her acting like this here. It's really annoying. And hey, look, Will's still here. Remember him?
Cool. The real problem with Freddy vs. Jason is that it made a lot of people think that Jason has a fear of swimming and it's a weakness. I will maintain that people misread that scene. It is in the dream world. He doesn't show that same fear in the real world. It is Freddy messing with his head.
But but John, Freddy died by fire. Jason died by water. How can we use that?
That look you got in your eyes when you started saying that was unironically scarier than anything in Freddy vs. Jason.
The CGI was pretty scary. I don't know.
Yeah. No, like I've never had a problem with that because it's in the dream world. They even go to show that he's not actually scared of water in the real world. And we can I hope that you've been having fun. We have. We have. Me more so than Robert. Robert's been very very annoyed this whole stream.
That's true. You were complaining a lot about the show in the first few
episodes. I was, but it's mellowed out.
Like,
it's mellowed out. It's a little rough getting there.
Yeah. So this is where we're setting up the Mike has trouble saying the word love, which I mean tracks, but then I just not super into how we handle that in 4 because I think 11 pretty unreasonable.
Gerald, yeah, I completely agree. It's just people don't see it that way. It's because people just think, oh, it's Freddy versus Jason. Like, you're just taking it at face value. But, like, it's there in the movie. Teddy, Benedict Cumberbatch, Sherlock sees a stain and exposes the characters of fear. Yeah, but I mean, that's just Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Like, that's consistent across every.
That some just go more over the top with it than others.
Teddy, you want to kill that thing with fireworks? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were an expert on how to fight giant meat monsters without our superpowered friend.
No, I need to get 11 healed so she can solve our problems for us. Because I don't care about her well-being.
That's the plot of season 4. The 3rd season isn't my favorite season, but it's pretty good, says Anime. What is your favorite season?
This is a good shot. Well, at least they're staying hydrated. Oh, no. Jared says it shows up in the Sarah Connor versus Jason fan film. You maniacs. You fucked it up.
Exist?
I don't know.
Like, there's a really fun Michael versus Jason fan film, but, like, that makes more sense.
Terminator versus Jason?
Yeah. As a kid, I always pitched a Dawn of the Dead and Friday the 13th crossover.
That'd be fun. Who wins in a fight? Kane Hodder, Jason, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator?
Jason. They're both indestructible killing machines, but like the Terminator has a limit. Jason's limit is, I don't know. Blowing him up doesn't work.
They would just keep fighting until the Terminator ran out of battery, basically.
Anime fan says that his favorite season is probably the 4th season. That I think it's consistent with Sherlock, but the BBC one takes it to goofy lengths. Oh, maybe. I haven't seen that show in forever. Yeah.
That show has had a real w- what's the opposite of a reappraisal? Because like everyone's just fucking turned on it. People hate that show now, and
I think
according
it
to
hurts.
it's just like the worst thing ever.
I think it's because you had those first two seasons that everybody loved.
Yep.
Everybody was kind of mixed on three, and then I've not heard a single good thing about four.
Yeah. No, I
It
mean,
it sounds like
I
they
still
should
think those
just
first two
called
seasons
it
are
a
pretty good.
day after season two.
Yeah. Or just wrap the whole thing up with three. No, the first two seasons are pretty good. There are flaws. It's definitely dated in some areas. That's one of those shows where that's when you feel old, where when you live with something when it's kind of new and it's so fresh and exciting and cool, and then when you're several years removed from it, you're like, oh god, this is so dated. This was like so hip at the time, and now it feels old. Oh no.
No. Oh.
And that show does cheat a lot where you're never like get to be on his level or see what he's seeing. It's just like he'll just pull shit out of his ass. Like there are better Sherlock adaptations out there. Some do it better than others. But I still maintain I think the first two seasons are pretty good. It's worth watching for Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. Their
Yeah,
performances are
I mean,
great.
I liked
Their
it.
chemistry's great.
I don't know if I'd
It's
ever
the
go
reason to
back
watch
to
it.
it. But
Yeah, yeah. It's just a weird way where everybody on YouTube, it's like, here is a 4-hour video essay on why Sherlock's a horrible show, and you should kill yourself if you liked it. It's like Jesus, like
whoa,
I think it's pretty good.
can't do
Right?
that.
Unalive yourself. Sorry. Hey, look, it's Agos. Callback.
Lego Magos.
They go on my Agos. Those commercials confused me so much when I was a little kid because I was like, Legos, what? I didn't get the pun.
My favorite
Okay.
commercials as a kid was the Tootsie Pop with like the owl. I mean, like does it take to
Oh
get to
yeah.
the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Oh, that's a classic. That's like 50 years old. Everybody's seen it.
Why did this just turn into a like Coke ad for a second?
Well, it's an anti-Coke ad because he's like promoting new Coke, which famously was kind of a failure and not particularly well liked. But I don't like this bit at all. I'm watching a bit. This is an SNL sketch. We have
No, it
just
is
stopped the
because
show.
it goes from Coke to the thing to Coke.
And also, this is kind of important shit's going on right now. If this was in
Jared
the first episode, I
says,
could
from
probably
what
roll
I've
with it.
seen, Elementary is pretty good. That is a show I want to watch, even though it
When
does
it,
that cringy like, oh, Watson's a woman in this one because it's gonna be a will they won't they.
yeah. I remember when it was coming out, I was like, "Oh, Palace don't care," but then I heard it was pretty good, so I should probably give it a shot at some point.
My favorite Sherlock is House. It's not really Sherlock, but it might as well be Sherlock.
Well, and I have that with Sean Spencer and Psych.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my favorite Sherlock Holmes because he kind of is.
Yeah, it's definitely influenced.
Oh yeah, and like Gus is 1000% his Watson. Like that, he's definitely clearly that archetype. The
Oh,
ceiling stops spinning.
Robert, there's a Psych reference for you.
Oh, hey, did he? Oh yeah, I think I could picture what you're talking about, where kind of they do some spoof stuff like that, where it seems like he's figured out something insane, and then it was just a really obvious answer. No, I love Psych. That bathroom looks so disgusting. Get
This
out
is
of
the
here, guy.
best scene in the whole season.
Probably, it's a good one. And that is back referring to a comment earlier. A thing the show has been critiqued about, like since season one, that there's not enough stuff like racism and political issues and social issues addressed. It's not that kind of show. like I said, they use it as a
Complaining.
backdrop.
That's like complaining that there isn't an entire scene dedicated to racism in, I don't know, the Goonies.
Right. It's trying to straddle that line of it wants to be an 80s movie, but it also wants to be more, grounded and with real people referring to 80s movies with that as a backdrop, as an aesthetic choice. And I think it mostly handles that stuff okay. And again, it's subtlety goes a long way because I don't, you know, it's not like we have a ton of characters on the show who are just, flips. Like, and it should be said that it took a near death experience with fucking Russians for Robin to confess this to Steve. That should tell you all you need to know that this isn't maybe the most tolerant decade where just everybody is just going to be open about this stuff.
I,
It's
what I
still
like
there.
about this is the subtleties. Like he's kind of confessing his feelings for her, and she just has
Yeah.
this like look on
Oh
her
shit.
face, but not in a "oh you disgust me." It's I can't
Yeah.
give you what you want.
Yeah.
I will get to
And
your question here in a minute.
it's a very relatable situation where regardless of gender or sexual orientation, like a lot of people, most of us have been in that scenario where we're with somebody where it's like, ah, fuck, like if that we'd like almost be a perfect match if just one of us was different,
Yeah.
because but a lot of friends are like that. Michael Rosenbaum talked about that. I think it was on the Simon Pegg interview where he was like, "I have friends." Where Michael Rosenbaum says, "Like, I have friends where I'm like, fuck, I wish he had a vagina because this what we have going is so good, but there's just this thing." And the way Steve responds to this, I is very natural. It's very sweet, and I like that it takes him a minute to pick up on it. That's the best part of
I'll
it, where
bring
he's
that
like,
up here in a
"What?"
moment when we get to that, but I just like the way she words it, like, and not like Nancy's like, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
need.
yeah.
Steve, yeah, yeah. Oh,
It's like, wait a minute.
but I like
And
how they play it because he doesn't suddenly become like the comforting, like protective friend. No, he gives her shit about the tasting girls.
yeah, it's great. And what I like about his reaction too, it's like he's probably never known anyone before in his personal life or like anyone out anyway. So it's kind of like, oh shit, like I haven't. This is new for me. And also, you have terrible taste. She has dreams. No, this is a very nice scene. That this stuff's great.
Yeah, the dumpster like just bursting in just caps off the scene. No,
that
it's
it does
that
look
is a
great.
really rare moment I think of emotional maturity in the writing,
Hmm.
especially in this season. Okay, sorry, I wanted to watch that scene because I love that scene. Anime
It's so
fan,
good.
do you like Stranger Things as much as Smallville? I mean, probably like this more than Smallville, but I'm more nostalgic for Smallville. This is better than Smallville, at least on a writing,
Yeah, it is.
except
Look,
for those moments
e-
where it dips into that like
hey
Smallville
man,
level.
even if it doesn't stick the landing, it might be better than the Smallville finale, and that is
Yeah.
not a high bar.
Teddy says that's like complaining about the racism thing, that there isn't any goofy comedy scenes in Schindler's List. Teddy and poor Robin literally says that she's scared of asking a girl out because if Steve gets a rejection,
Yeah.
you just get a bruised ego for a bit. But if she does, she's a town pariah.
I wish it was what he wrote. I wish that was the actual line.
If I get rejected, I'm going to turn into a piranha. Town pariah. He gives her shit in a supportive way. Yeah, he's like, no, you're still my friend. I don't care about that. Um, Anime fan, do you have a favorite character, Steve? Teddy was like, yeah, I get it. You like girls. Now your taste sucks, though.
And like I said, I think the show straddles that line okay. Like to me, it never feels too dishonest of, you know,
Mhm.
the time period of the setting. Like I had with Salem's Lot, where you have a black kid who's like standing up to bullies in this white town he just moved into, and he's like, "My dad says I should fight my battles." I'm like, "That this is the '70s. This get you fucking killed. The Civil Rights March like just happened. I don't buy this. Like that's a problem." Oh, Alexi, you're too pure for this world.
Yeah, and I feel really bad because I like Alexi as a character a lot. I think he kind of got forgotten about when Eddie happened. And everybody
Yes.
went rabid over Eddie.
Also, this is where the one season character dies at the end isn't as egregious or formulaic because you're not thinking about that while you're watching it. You know, he's a supporting
Oh, see,
character.
I did not have that. If he is not egregious, then neither because he's just Bob. He's just the next Bob. He
Not
shows up, gets a
really.
lot of screen time. He's likable, and they kill him.
No, but he's again, he's more of a side character. He's a casualty, you know. We need to keep the stakes high. Bob is a lot more involved with those characters' personal lives. Like that
No, but I just mean it's the same thing
only a
as
couple
Bob in
people know.
terms of, oh, we brought in a new character. He's likable. He's involved with a couple of the characters,
Mhm.
and maybe not personally, but oh, he died. I didn't see that coming.
I just don't see it as much of the formula because characters need to die. Characters die every season, and the big death of the season is Billy. That's the one that sticks with you that you're thinking about. And Billy was at least a 2 season character.
Mm.
So no, I don't think it's a problem that Alexi's introduced and dies. Like I think it happens pretty organically. No, what I find funny about the Billy thing is just that it kept that trend going of the B characters dying. Benny, Barbara, Bob, and Billy. That's the formula. But I think if like Murray died in season 4, that would have been shocking and a big deal because that's a character who goes way back, who's been in this whole show. And the Eddie thing is tricky because, like I said, I like Eddie, and but while I was watching, when the back half of season 4 was coming out, I remember thinking, okay, the safe formulaic thing to do is kill Eddie. The shocking thing to do would be to kill Steve and then have Eddie fulfill that role for season 5. And I would have been really sad if they did that. So I guess I'm fine with how that panned out. Oh no. And again, it's stakes. You know, we've had this evil Russian Terminator guy this whole season. He needs to kill somebody. You know, the show needs us to hate him.
In season one, it didn't matter because all the characters were new. In season two, it wasn't a trope yet.
Yeah,
Season three, it becomes a trope. In season four, it's an issue. So that's what I'm saying. It's
yeah.
like two makes a pattern. Like I wasn't that
Mm.
shocked. Like, oh, they just did this again.
No,
Dare
I
I
just
hear
think
her? It
the
sounds similar to
situation here.
Daredevil season two with Elektra.
Mm, God, the way the whole Alexa thing panned out in that show sucked, and I love that show, but
Oh,
that
bad.
mistakes were made. What I find effective about Alexi's death, though, is that we don't get a big speech or a monologue. When they come back, like
Monologue.
when they come back and find him, he's just dead. There is something kind of raw about it.
What have you done?
I also don't think formulas are inherently bad. Uh, it just comes down to execution.
Um.
We are Friday the 13th fans here, and the one you don't like is the one that breaks from formula.
Wait, what?
Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh yeah. And Van, I don't think it's a problem. It's like how Harry Potter stories kept changing professors.
That's kind of different. I mean, in the context of the books, there's at least a mythology reason for it, but
It's also kind
in
of
the
a
movies,
problem there, but
I also don't care. It's just like, yeah,
eh,
it's part of the formula. What would have made that formula bad is if every single time the dark arts professor turned out to be evil. That's why the third one subverts that. You know, then it's a problem.
yeah,
If they
I think the
kept
problem is
doing
that for both that third one is the only one where it's not. They're evil
yeah.
the rest of the time.
But even in 2 though, like he's not like a mastermind villain. He's not working for Voldemort. He's just an asshole.
Yeah, I still don't understand why Lockhart is there. I don't know.
I like this sequence a lot.
Yeah, this is a fun place to set a fight.
Yeah, this scene when it's like, oh fuck, he's just dead. Doesn't get a big send off or anything. I do like when we can kind of take a breath and let the stakes get real.
He's dead, Jim.
And it works for Murray's character. It gives him some extra drama. This is a good kind of brutal fight. When he picks up that bag and slams it, I'm like, oh god, I felt that. Like that was brutal. Watching this with Netflix subtitles is funny. Intense synth music plays. Fun, fair. Hawkins unfair. Short, sweet, and to the point.
In season 5, they should just make a new character and just constantly make it look like they're about to die. It never does. In the final scene, they should just get hit by a car. What is this? Scary movie?
I forget. Have you seen Galaxy Quest?
It's been a long time, but
Yeah, that Sam Rockwell's so fucking funny in that because he gets roped along on the adventure and is insecure because he played a side character that died on the show, and he's like, "No, I'm not a main character. Nobody knows me. My name is Guy." Says, oh my god, we're in a hall of mirrors.
what is this? John Wick?
Oh, you cheated. And Hopper, headshot.
What is?
Execute that man.
Don't they know gung fu?
Get off of me. And I also don't think it's fair to entirely look at these characters in a vacuum because, I mean, you could also say, well, Robin could have been a one season character who died, but she sticks around and becomes a main cast member.
No,
The problem
she
by four
does, but
is
then
we've
that's
had
just.
50.
But that's the same formula. She's just Max this season, a new character that comes in, but this one doesn't die, instead joins the group. They do this every season until the show bloats up to 1 million characters. Anime fan, when is the 5th season coming out? Never, apparently.
Nah, it'll be next year at some point. Though they may drop like the first batch of episodes next year and then maybe
And we're
wait
gonna
until
make
the
Robert
finale
blind
the following
react
year.
to them all by himself.
Oh no.
What have we done?
Oh, no problem, Jareth. I'm sorry you're feeling sick. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Gonna call it a
I hope you
night.
feel
Thanks
better
for making
soon,
my
man.
night better, especially how sick I feel tonight. I hope you feel better, man. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a pleasure to see you in chat.
Hmm? Eat carb, bitches. Teddy, why did they make Steve the bid bad? What were they
I will be
thinking?
outraged. No, but I did see a cool, like, kind of a fan edit, but it was like if Steve got possessed by the Mind Flayer. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that could have been interesting.
Oh, that was the scene where she killed like 4 people with a car.
Yeah, you weren't watching it, but it's fine. Elle's killed plenty of people before.
Yeah, he looks like
I do like the bit when they're like, "Oh yeah, we figured out the evil Russians." They're like, "Wait, there's Russians? No one has told us that." Yeah, in case it wasn't obvious enough, we're doing a Red Dawn. This is also the Red Dawn season. In case that wasn't clear. My leg. Oh Jesus.
oh Jesus. Why did they recast Nancy mid-season?
Oh boy.
Well, that was season 3, episode 7. As always, if you're watching after the fact, thanks for hanging out. If you're watching live, stick with us, and we will start the next episode here in a minute.